It's estimated that 93% of successful people invest in this one thing. That is mentorship. Now, this is something that I've seen often in my Instagram thread. It's something that when I've posted anything about mentorship, I've gotten mixed reviews on how people feel about mentorship and what it's really about. So in this video, we're going to tackle 3 important components of mentorship, which is 1, should you pay for a mentor? 2, what components or things should you look out for if you are going to be getting a mentor? And 3, how do you actually go about getting your first mentor if that's something you are looking to do? So it's no surprise, but I've been a huge supporter of finding a mentor. I think it's something that a lot of people should do, especially if you are an entrepreneur or in the business realm. I think it's something that's immensely valuable in my personal opinion. So I'm just going to get that out right from the start. But it's something that when I've posted about it, especially more recently, I've gotten a lot of interesting feedback about it. And I kind of want to address that a little bit more in detail here. One of the biggest points of resistance I think a lot of people have in terms of finding a mentor is whether or not they should pay for a mentor or not. One of the biggest arguing points for that was basically someone said you could basically find all the information that a mentor is going to teach you out on the internet. The internet has everything you could ever possibly ask for and imagine be able to find. So why have a mentor when you can just go find it yourself? Now, I agree. If you don't have to pay for a mentor, if you can find a great mentor without having to pay for it, kudos to you. That's amazing. I think you should go for it, honestly. But if you're someone that can find it, should you pay for a mentor or not? Should you pay for coaching? Should you pay for mentorship? And I always give this example. Of course, I could go about and do my own accounting. I could learn how to do it. I could find all the software. I could learn all the strategies, things like that. But in reality, that's going to take a lot of time for me to actually go and learn how to do all this stuff. Plus the day-to-day of actually learning how to do it and actually implementing it and doing it on a regular basis. That takes a lot of time out of my day. Plus, it is not a skill for me. My time is valuable and I want to make the maximum amount of my time. Time is something that I can't get back. So is it more valuable for me to actually spend the money for somebody else to do that who basically has trained their entire life to do it? They spent years and years and years doing what they do. They're professionals at it and they can do it much faster than I could. That money to me is much more valuable than having to go out there and learn it all myself. Sure, you could learn how to start your own business, but wouldn't it be more valuable if you could actually learn from somebody who's already done it and can teach you the ropes so you can skyrocket your success faster and actually not make the same mistakes that most people make? To me, that's extremely valuable. Now, of course, that depends on what things you're looking for. If you're looking for more of a spiritual mentor, to you, that may not be something you want to actually pay for. If you're looking for a business mentor, that's something I think is definitely worth it because there are a lot of financial mistakes that you could make. Really, you have to determine for yourself, depending on the category that you're looking for mentorship in your life, is that something that you really want to spend money on? Also, the other thing you should consider is spending money on that mentor going to really help you maintain more of your time in the long run? Because honestly, time is the one thing that we just can't get back. Now, the next thing to consider is what should you be looking for in a mentor? And I think there's really 3 things that we should be looking for. One of the first ones is experience. How experienced are they in the field that you want to be mentored in? You know, if you're looking for, let's say, a business mentor, the big questions to ask are, have they been in business? But more particularly, have they been in the specific business that you want to be mentored in? If you're looking for a spiritual mentor, do they align with the same values? Have they been practicing that way for a long time, or is it something that they're more new in? Obviously, the more experience, the more trials they've been through, the more mistakes they've experienced and been through, also more likely they are to have mentored other people and know what it's like to mentor other people, and therefore have a much broader wealth of experience, knowledge, and wisdom to be able to impart to you. Number 2 is going to be alignment of styles and values. Now, 1, you just want to make sure that the type of mentorship that they want to be offering you, or the way you guys are going to be working together, whether that's free or paid, is the style that you're most comfortable with. It's something that works well for both of you. Maybe that person does better on a one-on-one setting. Maybe they prefer group coaching, whereas you prefer one-on-one settings. It just depends on what you're looking for, so make sure the style of mentorship that that person is willing to give to you is in alignment with what you really want and what you are looking for. That's going to be a good fit for both of you, because if it's not going to work out. And number 3 is going to be results. You obviously want to make sure that that person has gone through some sort of mentorship before, and what are the results that they can show you for what they had in the past. Now, obviously, if you're getting free mentorship, this may not be as big of a deal, but if it's something that you're actually going to be paying for, this becomes exponentially more important, because if you're going to be putting your money and time investing in this mentor, you want to make sure that they have results that they can share and demonstrate that, hey, they do have experience working with this, and this validates the price tag that they are going to give to their mentorship. And trust me, if they have the results that can back up the price of what they are actually going to be charging for their mentorship, in my opinion, I think that's worth it. All right, so now to the final step here, which is how do you go about finding a mentor? And I think there's a couple of things we really need to consider before you actually go searching for a mentor. Is one, before you even decide on a mentor, you really want to be as familiar with that person as you possibly can. Obviously, based on those things that we were just talking about in the last section here, you want to be very intimate with the experience that they have. You want to know more about who they are personally, what are the values that are important to them, the results they've been getting, things like this. All this is very important. You just don't want to just jump into being mentored by somebody just because you saw an ad on Facebook. You really want to do your in-depth research and get to learn more about that person, go through their social media pages, talk to other people who've worked with them before, see their line of work and the results they've been producing. You want to get as familiar with that person as possible to make sure they are the best fit for you possible. So with that being said, the first place I think you should look is with people you're already familiar with, who would be in your immediate sphere of influence. These would be people that you respect, look up to already, that you already are in contact with and have some experience with. This could be a business person who you're already familiar with and have talked to several times. You look up to them and you would like to be mentored by them, but have never considered having that sort of conversation about that type of relationship. This would be a great first place to start. Or maybe it's somebody that you've looked up to because of the way they act or the lifestyle they live, and it's just something you want to learn more about and just be mentored by them. Or maybe it's a spiritual mentor, whatever it might be. First step is to look in your immediate sphere of influence. I think that is the best place to start before you start looking elsewhere. But let's say you're looking in your immediate sphere of influence and there's just nobody you really would consider having a mentor-mentee relationship with, and it's time for you to start looking a little bit outside of your immediate sphere of influence. That's okay, because trust me, there are plenty of people out there. One of the first places I would start looking at is looking for people on social media. Now, before you get too ahead of yourself here, you're going to look for options on social media, but you really want to start doing your research. You really want to focus on people that you can actually get very familiar with, people who are very active on social media. You want to read through their blog posts, all their videos, YouTube videos. As much content as you consume, the better. I really prefer mentors and coaches who have video content. And this is me personally for one simple reason, is on video, I know people can't hide behind the lens of creative copywriting or creative images. You know, who you see on camera is who they really are. And you can really get a very good sense of who that person is in real life based on how they appear through video. So me personally, I really like using video as a medium because I think it just allows me to really reveal myself so people can get comfortable with me. So that's sort of my take on that. But obviously there are people that do very well even without video, that have tons of credibility, tons of results, and have mentored tons of people. And from there, what I would do is start to go even deeper into that person's content, maybe start buying some of their small products. Maybe they have little mini courses you can jump on, free offers. Start to get familiar with them that way. And then as you go through, if this is something you really want to pursue and everything seems to line up, then it's time to start reaching out to those people. And really, when you're reaching out to somebody to see if they could be your mentor, to see if they'd be willing to mentor you, remember this, please. It's about them, not you. You want to make it easy for them. So don't ask if they want to have coffee and drive an hour to come see you. Go to them. Pay for their lunch. Make it easy for them to have a meeting with you so you can talk to them, so you can get just a little bit of their time. Make it easy for them. Also, if they're really, really busy, you want to do something that provides value for them. Maybe you can find a way to get into their inner circle by providing immediate value for them. These are great ways to get in contact with people. And then obviously one of the simplest ways to get mentored by some of these people is most of them probably have some sort of mentorship or coaching program. So that's a great way to get started. And maybe you don't have to start off one-on-one. Maybe you can start off in a group coaching setting. Maybe you could then build up into one-on-one coaching. whatever that looks like to you and whatever your finances look like based on that. And guess what? If their coaching or their mentoring is too expensive for you, guess what? There are more people out there that you can look into. And maybe that's something down the road. You can pursue that later on, depending on what that is. So just a couple things to consider when reaching out to a mentor or to a coach. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. Hopefully you found this valuable. And if you did, I'd really appreciate if you smash that like button down there for the YouTube algorithm, as Graham Stephan would say. And if you did content like this, make sure you click that red subscribe button down there, because that's going to notify you when we come out with a new episode every single week. Thank you guys for tuning in. I can't wait to see you guys in the next episode.